Yeah, you see the name I gave to the video. That's because it actually fits. It fits the shape that we're in. In our today's world, I get sick and I get disgusted at what I see. The dumbness, stupidity, the stupidness of human beings in today's society. People have lost their ability for critical thinking skills. No lie. They really have. Most people don't possess the ability for critical thinking skills at all. And then common sense isn't even common no more. Not at all. Now it's like the dinosaur. You have to look and look and look. Very few people, very, very few, actually possess common sense. Even the so-called doctor of common sense appear on YouTube don't possess common sense. All he possesses a little bit of common sense. But if you really watch and follow him, you discover the man don't even have common sense himself. Just a little fragment of it. And because he has a little fragment of it, he calls himself the doctor of. He's the doctor of a joke. Okay? That's all I can say about that. He's a joke. The majority of society don't even possess common sense anymore, let alone anything else. The critical thinking skills, the ability to not care, just is not here anymore. You have 9/11, back on 9/11, when the trade centers fell. That's gone on and on and on. Here we are, this many years later. Nobody's been prosecuted. Nobody's been brought to justice for it. Plenty of people have investigated it. That's right. Plenty of people have investigated it. You allowed your criminals to tell you you couldn't investigate it. Plenty of people have investigated it. We pretty much know who's behind it. But has anybody been brought to justice? No. Not at all. Has the public been told the truth? No. Not at all. So they get by with it. And none of you care. This is the shape we're in. This is the stupidity of people. Nobody cares now. It's old news, right? So you don't care. So they get by with it because you don't care. That's the truth of it. Then we have all the false flags that's going on. And, and here on Google Tube, Credible Tube, where they've hired 1,000 more trolls, people to come in and lie and help keep the truth covered up for money. And they're willing to do it. So what you're really looking at is, in this country alone, just in the United States, we have a whole bunch of people for the tool, money, that are willing to be sellouts and traitors to their own country. And that's exactly what they are. They're traitors. Traitors to their own country. YouTube is loaded full of traitors. It's absolutely loaded. You have shields, which are traitors to their own people, to their own country, for money. All over YouTube. Everywhere. Google has proven and shown its colors to be that of psychopaths. Sick, twisted individuals run Google. If they wasn't completely out of their mind and sick, they wouldn't partner up with an old criminal and hire 1,000 trolls to come in and bury the truth. The only people that get removed from YouTube are people who tell the truth. The ones of you that are talking about mindless fluff and stuff that means absolutely nothing, you'll be left alone. And of course, the ones that are left alone that are telling you the truth, so they say, so they claim, but their channels are never gone. They never get strikes. They never get suspended from YouTube. Them are your shills. Them are your agents. Them are your plants. Even if they get mad because you call them a shill, it doesn't matter. Not at all, because see, they know they are. But guess what? They don't care. As long as they're getting paid some of the jewel, that's right, they don't care. You know why? Because they're treasonous. They're treasonous traitors to their own country. That's what Google is. It's an organization of treasonous traitors who commit treason daily, right in everybody's face. But will anybody do anything about it? No, not at all. Nobody's going to stand up because nobody cares. Nobody cares. The only thing they care about in today's society is the selfish selves. This is the state and shape that we are in. Everywhere I look, I see people that are, I hate to say it, so stupid. Dumbed down and completely stupid. And I mean it. I'm not joking. This is what I see. People won't look into their history. They won't use common sense or logic or anything to figure out that the reason the government removed the history books right after World War II from the school system here in America and replaced them books was to hide more truth. It's the only reason they did it. So that the generations after World War II would learn certain things in their history because it wouldn't be there to be taught, so that they could suppress that down. Yes, we've been lied to throughout history. All of us have been. As the same entity continuously lies to the public, puts the lies in your school system and teaches you the lies. And if people just would use a little bit of what they don't possess, common sense and critical thinking skills, they would figure out that they've been lied to their whole life. In just about every front of their life has been a lie. Not all, but just about. Enough that you grow up believing a lie. It's just like now, in today's society, somebody can tell you a bold-faced lie. You'll call them a liar. You're correct to call them a liar. But they'll keep saying that bold-faced lie over and over and over. Regardless of how many times you call them a liar, they'll keep saying it over and over. So then what do? You start believing their lie. Now you say, well, if you tell the lie enough, it becomes truth. No, it never became truth. It's just you have that many stupid people who are willing to believe that lie. Nobody wants to look into anything. And the people that do look won't look for the causes, the root causes of problems. And it's so simple to figure out if you look in your history. If you do your homework and you look through history, you'll see that it has replayed itself over and over and over. And they've literally told you everything they're going to do. And the sad thing is as human beings, you think that we would learn from our mistakes so that we would not repeat them again. But you don't. Isn't that right? Nope, you don't. So therefore, nobody's held accountable for 9/11. Nobody's been brought to trial. Nobody's been put in the public's face as the people who perpetrated it that actually did do it. Nope, they got by with it. Y'all gave them a trophy, didn't you? You gave them a free pass out. You gave them a get out of jail free card, didn't you? Though, however, you won't get no free out of jail free card. That's right. If you make them, if you do something, you're going to get held accountable to it and punished for it. But you won't punish them for it, right? Because somehow they're above you. Somehow another human being is above you. No, they're not above you. You're just that stupid. There's nobody above nobody. But you want to believe there is because you're stupid. What can I say? That's what stupid does. This is what stupid allows. I know you may not like my language, and I'm not bullying nobody. I'm in general talking about our shape of our society. All you got to do is look around you. We're in a war that's not going to end. Why are our troops overseas? Can you answer that question? Why are we fighting and killing one another? Can you honestly answer that question? Can you give a legit reason? No. You couldn't give a legit reason because there is no legit reason. Outside of the fact you failed to grow up and you're stupid. We allow a handful of people to control billions of people, and we do nothing about it. They put poisons in your foods, so now all the foods that you're buying are no good for your health. It's called eugenics. It's called slow kill. And they don't discriminate. They're doing it to everybody, except for their own children and their own selves. They're the only ones that actually have the real food with nourishment and the things, my vitamins and the minerals it's supposed to have in it for a healthy immune system. They're the only ones that have that and have access to it. You don't. Common people don't. No, not at all. What we have access to is poison. Why? Because we've allowed it. Because what? That's right, you don't care. That's right, you don't care. Until now it's affecting you. And only when it affects you will you care. So you mean once it's too late, you'll care. That's sad. That's stupidity. That's dumbness. That's stupidness. You know, you could have prevented. But let's look at the reality. They don't have to round people up and put them in FEMA camps to get population reduction. Nope. They can use that as scare tactics. They'll never, ever, ever have to do it. Because all you got to do is keep going to the grocery store and eating what's provided. And you will make them rich while you die. And they know it. So they get their population reduction off of your dumbness. Off of your stupidness. Because you don't care. You're not willing to do anything about anybody. So the perpetrators of 9/11, the perpetrators of the false flag, you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube no more. Why would that be that you can't talk about that false flag no more? That's right. Because you're all stupid. Them people will never ever be brought to justice because of stupidness. Because of dumbness. Because of your inability to grow up. Because of your ability to not care about nobody but yourselves. They got you right where they want you. You're easily controlled. When the powers to be say you're nothing but worthless cattle, pawns to be used, they're correct. And I'm not bullying nobody, but they are correct. Because you're going to allow recruiters to come into your school system and recruit your kids into the military right out of high school. And you're going to tell them that they're going to become a man, they're going to become a woman, they're going to become an adult. When in reality, they're going to become brainwashed, furtherly brainwashed, and used as expendable pawns for the people up at the top's personal gain. Dumb cattle. That's what you are. You'll go take your guns and follow their orders and go overseas and kill people that have never done nothing to you. You will steal their resources and they've done nothing to you because you're following your orders. Meanwhile, the people giving the orders are following their orders so these people sitting here at the top can have it all. It's what you call dumb. So, it's no different than somebody's coming into your home, stealing your belongings, raping your children, raping your wife, and you do nothing about it. You say, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Take whatever you want. Oh, you want my little girl's body? Take it. Oh, you want my little boy's body? Take it. It's all yours. Do whatever you want with them. Have your way with them. I'm not going to do anything about it. That's really what you're saying. You're going to say, oh, no, that's sick, that's disgusting. And yes, we are. We will never allow it. Really? Let's use reality. They commit their false flags, their psyops on you. You don't look into it. Even when you do, and you see that they're lying to you, does anybody keep digging for who's financing this? Does anybody follow the money back to the people who actually are behind this? Does anybody go after them and prosecute them and bring them to justice? No, not at all. You allow them to get by with it. So, you got Corey Feldman gets up there and tells everybody how he was molested in Hollywood. Let's use your heads about that. Just for one moment, use your heads. I'm not saying that there isn't pedophiles in Hollywood molesting your children. What I'm saying is this. If Corey Feldman was a threat to the power to be, the establishment, he wouldn't been on national TV doing interviews telling you how he was a victim. The only reason he's on national TV telling you how he was a victim is because he was allowed to be. Now, let's go one step further with that. He wanted to raise, $10 million to do a movie. Meanwhile, he wasn't going to give no names out until he did his movie. So the problem was really going on, and you care about your children, so that means the children that are working in Hollywood right now would continue to be molested by these people that Corey Feldman knows about. And Corey Feldman don't care that they're being molested by people because he's too busy getting his money. Don't sound to me like he was really a victim of anything. Just telling you. Okay, because it's in your face. Just like when they do their false flags and they give you your scare tactics to scare the bejeebus out of you. And you got all these people running around saying they're coming after guns. They're coming after guns. Yes, they are. Look at the bills they're pushing. Look at the laws they're trying to create. They're coming after guns. They're coming after guns. Have you ever looked at the chart of sales in the gun industry? Wow, you'll discover every time they make a scare about coming after your guns, the sales go up. You know, after one particular false flag, I'm just going to use one example for you. One particular false flag that we're not allowed to talk about up on Google Tube. Well, right behind that particular false flag, they started pushing bills in Congress and on TV to stop assault rifles and this and that and this and that. And everybody was coming after guns, and they sold 2 million guns. They sold 2 million guns. Awesome. What a sales gimmick. What a marketing gimmick that was. All in the pretext of we're coming after your guns. You will run out and buy guns, doing exactly what they want and making them a lot of money. What can I say? It's right in your face. But as long as you don't want to look into anything and you don't care, then these people will always get by with what they're doing. Because they don't have to worry about you ever stopping them. Because the majority of mankind is too stupid to stop them. That's right. Hate to say it, but that is the majority. And I hate to be that way towards anybody, but the truth is the truth. I do want to shake the powers to be's hands, though, and tell them, great job. Great job. Job well done. You got everybody so fooled, so dumbed down, that the stupidness, I mean, what can I say? Great job. I'm not going to down them for it because I don't agree with the job they've done, but I know a job that's well done when I see it. And I'll tell you what, well done. I mean, well done. And most of you people won't even understand what I'm talking about when it's so in your face. The complete corruption, the non-care, the non-care. And meanwhile, the so-called authorities, the so-called law enforcement, who are robbing and pillaging you and taking your freedom away from you, that claim that they're there for justice, have never been there for justice. They're there for justice for the criminals. What you really have is the mafia runs you, and the mafia has their own enforcers who run around with guns and badges and uniforms, who enforce the mafia's criminal actions onto you. That's really what you have. And there's no two ways around that, because the entire justice system is corrupt. Your government is corrupt, your justice system is corrupt, from the top to the bottom, and nobody cares. Nobody wants to do anything about it, isn't that right? So meanwhile, here up on YouTube, GoogleTube, whatever you want to call it, the pack of criminals, psychopaths that are running YouTube are on their knees for their bosses. That's right, on their knees for their bosses, and are traitors, are treasonous traitors to their own country, and getting by with it. And you know why? Because you just don't care, isn't that right? Isn't that the real truth? You don't care. So, for the real truthers, which is only a handful who do care, are outnumbered by millions of non-caring, fake truthers, shills, treasonous traitors to their own country, or they're on a job site running in little cliques like teenagers. They'll be in their 30s and 40s and hanging out like a bunch of teenagers, running in their own little cliques, playing favoritism, throwing people that are good workers that do nothing to nobody under a bus for their own gain, and calling themselves awake while they fall for the flat earth BS. They're not awake. They're part of the problem. It's sickening. It's disgusting. We live in a very, very sick world right now, and that's where we're at. So, until you decide to hold somebody responsible for what they do, they'll continue to get by with it. Google don't got to worry about it, because you're all too stupid, and you're just going to fucking bend, excuse my language, you're going to bend over and conform to whatever they want anyhow, aren't you? Dang right you are.